it'd be an ideal day to go out for a little kayak trip on Eklutna, and the weather turned on them though. My name's Andrew Cunningham, and I live here in Anchorage, Alaska. You know, the weather can change very quickly. The water can get very nasty. It was white capping. The waves were, 1 to 2 foot waves here and there. If I had been in a kayak, I would have been nervous that day. I felt comfortable being on a paddleboard because paddleboard can't capsize. So I decided to take on the challenge and head out. I was about 20 or 30 minutes from shore. I caught a glimpse of an empty kayak. Not sure where these people are. Eventually came across a second kayak. This time I could see the tandem kayak had people holding on to each end of it. They had life jackets on, but then it was just regular clothing underneath that. So they needed to get to shore as fast as possible. They were pretty obviously, getting hypothermic, and they were really struggling. My paddleboard was full of camping gear. Really, it wouldn't have worked out to be able to have 2 of us on there, let alone 3. So at that point, we decided the best idea would be for them to try their best at swimming for shore. Right away, the gentleman's daughter was showing that she could still swim. She was able to kick her legs and make progress towards shore, and it became apparent that there was a big difference between the 2 speeds. So she was doing, much better. She was struggling, but she could make progress, whereas her father was not able to really swim. His leg was cramping up. He kept, as he'd breathe in, he'd take water in. Pretty soon she was getting ahead of us, so I started going between the 2 of them. They each were concerned, go check on my daughter, go check on my dad. They wanted to make sure that the other was okay. I had blown my whistle and waved my arms, so it caught the attention of somebody. I knew there was people waiting for us to get to shore, and so the daughter continued on. I told her, I'm gonna stick with your dad because he can't swim anymore. All he could do to keep his head out of the water and from taking on water was holding on to my paddleboard. So we decided that instead of trying to fight the wind and go across, we would go downwind. He was on the back of the paddleboard, hanging on. I was paddling as hard as I could to try to make progress. It took us about an hour to get to shore going with the wind. I'd like to think I did whatever anyone else would have done, which is just help the best way that you could. And I just happened to be right there, and so the best thing I could do was, to physically support them getting to shore.